throw me off to the side. You can probably just stand here and just hold it down. It'll
897, 9976.
Just gonna give you a quick mic test one more time. Mic test. We're in Jacksonville Beach. Okay.
Okay, y'all ready?
Yep.
So just FYI, this is going to be short and quick,
Okay.
and I'll get back to y'all as soon as we got more, okay?
Okay.
All right, you guys let me know when you're ready.
Have step in.
First Street North, Second Avenue.
Good.
Good?
Yep.
Okay. Hello, this is Sergeant Tanya Tater with the Jacksonville Beach Police Department. We are out at the moment in the downtown area, known as our bar district of Jacksonville Beach, with an active shooter threat. We ask that everybody stay in place, leave the area until we say it's safe to come back into the area. Officers are on scene and we're handling it right now to get everybody safe and get our suspects who are still at large into custody. If you have any information, we encourage you to call the Jacksonville Beach Police Department and let us know that information. And as the night goes on, I will provide further updates. As of right now, we have 3 that are shot. I can't give any more information other than that, as we're working this as a very active scene. I'll be back in touch with y'all in a little while when I have more information to provide. Thank you.
Y'all be safe. You don't like it? What we do?
Y'all be crazy in the comments.
That's not my fault.
Y'all let it go
That's not
on
my
there.
department. But that's not my department.
Oh, that's not
What
your
I need to
department.
get on camera?
That's not my
What you doing out here? What happened?
There was a shooter. It's an active shooter.
No, for real?
Y'all shoot.
Why y'all hit me right here the whole time?
Yeah, we seen it.
Cool.
We was here.
No, oh, they could have put that on.
I don't want to be on camera, but yeah.
We saw it. No, one of them.
We saw one of them.
I did. For you, I see everybody.
Oh my God.
Everybody got shot. We don't even know.
It was kids.
They like young. Like young. They always.
You scared of that? I'm saying though, you don't know the niggas, you can't say if they was me because you don't know them.
Yeah. Everything always escalated.
And then niggas might want to see this off.
Yo, it was an on-site.
Because the police was busting too.
Yeah.
And then the third one, we didn't see that one. That's when they shut down everything. That's when they shut down.
The bars, they locked the bars down.
Yeah. And they owe us money for our hookah. Oh no, I told my friend, I said dispute that with your man.
You know, real bad.
Yeah.
Now.
Baby, I never
gonna tell her
received
you a
my
NASCAR
hookah. It was
manager?
active. And I put a News for Jacks clip up. See, News for Jacks
You got a minor
clip,
NASCAR?
screenshot. Never got my hookah.
Oh, you know Mass Con? You know behind the camera?
No, but he, yeah.
They Mass Con.
That was my man.
Okay, what's you to?
I went to
Ooh, period. They got a good mass con program. I know, I'm just saying they had a good, like,
Oh.
right.
Oh, shit. God damn. Y'all do good now.
All right, thank
Bye.
you. Y'all be safe. I bought you a new backpack.
Just
Okay.
it's not plugging in, so don't worry about that later. Just get you that.
Is this one charging?
I don't know.
Just get you that first.
Is it charging? Oh, it's charging. I see the little lines. And this one's not working?
The picture don't want to come up. I'll figure that out later. Just get you that.
Okay. Hey, I'm up. Stand by, Victor. I'm ready. We're good. Yes, Scott, I can hear you. I just arrived about 5 minutes ago. I was speaking with some individuals who was walking by where we're staged right now, and they were saying that they were in one of the bars and they saw two of the individuals shot. Now, Jack's Beach PIO did give us a quick briefing shortly before saying that 3 people were shot. It is unclear what condition they are in, but it is still an active scene. As I was driving here, I saw several Jack's Beach police officers flying by on the highway trying to get here. The helicopter is up, so there is a heavy police presence out in the sky. No, Scott, people are still just walking around just like a normal evening. They did tell me that all the bars were closed, but they're just still walking around trying to figure out what happened, but there is no perimeter set. So right now, the people that I spoke with said that all the bars on the strip, to their knowledge, they said when the shooting did start happening, they did close down all the bars and they locked the doors and everyone had to remain inside. The traffic was as normal, Scott. There was nothing any different out here. The only difference is you saw Jack's Beach police flying down the road trying to get down to 3rd Street and the helicopter up. But aside from that, traffic is totally normal. To my knowledge, yes. Yeah. I mean, I can hear myself, that's why I let them know. Because I kept repeating myself and stuff because I'm like, and I kept telling myself.
You know what is a good time to
They're talking to Tom.
Live interview with Ken? Yes. Do you want Ken with me? Okay. Ken, I'll probably just start real quick, and then I'll just bring you in if you just want to step in. Cole, are you still in?
It's down here. Yeah.
Okay. I do have mixed minus for what it's worth, but that's okay. Thank you, Ken, for getting out here so fast.
No problem. I was happened to have been talking to somebody about this right before you called. That's why I answered the phone after Shooter Jack's speech.
Yeah. Yeah, Riley, wanted to give you a quick update. We did hear from Jacksonville Beach, kind of a brief update. We heard from them that they do have those 3 people that are injured, and they also are still looking for suspects. So they're trying to get the scene secure. They're evacuating people out of, this is the main bar district of downtown Jacksonville Beach. So they're trying to ask people to leave through this area. So we've seen a lot of people, some walking, some running, wearing lots of green for St. Patrick's Day here, confused as to what exactly is going on. We talked with one woman who mentioned that she got a call from her daughter around 8 o'clock that she'd heard gunshots while she was out on the beach here at the 2nd Avenue access. So she worked her way over to Taco Bell to try and be safer and out of this area. And you mentioned we have Ken Jefferson with us. Ken, you want to step in here? I want to bring up this to you. I know we have a lot of questions still, but it is St. Patrick's Day weekend. This is the main bar district of Jacksonville Beach. Just your thoughts on all of this happening in this wide police perimeter.
Yeah, you've got a little bit of organized chaos going on right now. However, it looks as though the police has a wide spray of where they've cordoned off the various areas and they're keeping people away. There's still a lot of pedestrians walking around and trying to figure out what's going on and trying to get out of here. But it appears that the police have done a great job of taping off the immediate area. Now, they've got their hands full because they've got to talk to witnesses. They've got to try, if they can, talk to the injured persons, as well as look for a suspect. They've got to get the description. They've got to find out anything that they can about this particular suspect. They've got to even pull surveillance video if they can to try to see what's going on. But it appears to be safe because the police has done a good job of taping off the area, keeping that crime scene area contained for them to pick up evidence and interview witnesses.
So we heard that they are looking for suspects at this point. So how does it complicate things when you're looking at multiple people that could possibly be involved?
It's very complicated because, you know, this was a holiday. People were relaxed, and there's a lot of people at the beach, not like a 4th of July beach day or night, but still was a lot of people here. So they've got to sift through. You know, the suspect can easily try to blend in with the crowd, or the suspects could easily try to blend in with the crowd to try to get away or whatever. It does not appear that there's any type of, at this point, self-inflicted gunshot wound as a result of the shooter. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what led up to the shots being fired. I don't know what led up to the people being injured. We don't know if there's any fatalities at this particular point. All these things police have to sift through. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a while. The citizens are going to have to be patient, especially if they live close by in the area and they're not able to get to their homes or their apartments. They just got to be patient because the police have to do their job, and they're going to do it very thorough.
Gotcha. And we know there are a lot of people down here for St. Patrick's Day. They're having to be evacuated. They're probably confused. Some may be, you know, a little drunk at this point. So how is that for police as they're trying to manage that, trying to get this perimeter set up and explain to people that, you know, something's happening here?
Yeah, that's a heavy task. police are going to have to try to reason with everybody who has those issues. They're trying to get home or trying to get through a certain area. They just can't right now because the police have to do their job. And I'm certain if their loved ones was affected by this, they would understand and be a little more patient. So everybody's going to have to take a deep breath, be patient with the police, allow them to do their job so they can do it thoroughly, so that they can find out who did what, so they can find these suspects and bring them into custody and make the street safe again.
Can you speak at all to the different law enforcement agencies working together? We've seen Jacksonville Beach out here, lots of JSO cars coming in now. How do they work together? Who takes what task?
Yeah, you know, Jacksonville Beach will take the lead on this investigation because this is their jurisdiction. However, there are other agencies that they'll call upon because it's a small agency and they'll need additional help. So I'm certain that JSO is here, maybe the Florida Highway Patrol. We see the air unit around in the area right now, searching and looking at the direction of the officers that's on the ground. So you've got a conglomeration of agencies here that work together in situations like these. They can always call upon these agencies to help out, particularly when you have large crowds like this and you've got possibly active shooter or active shooters. You just don't know right now. So every agency that can help participate, they may even call some from St. Johns County, the adjoining county, to come and help out as well. So everybody will be willing to help out.
One thing that kind of complicates this is obviously there's a lot of light this way toward A1A, but the other way, going out to the beach in the dark, I mean, if the shooters were to possibly run that way, would that be, I mean, how do you track that down? How do you get light out there? Is that kind of another complicating issue here?
Well, they can get light out there because they've got the air unit. The air unit can actually shine the light down in that particular area. And you're right, the beach is very dark at night without lighting to speak of. But I believe that they'll get enough information that they need because you're talking about a crowd of people who have no interest in trying to keep their mouths shut as to what happened or who did it. They'll probably get some credible information that can lead them. It may take some time. It may not happen tonight. They may not find them tonight. But if they don't, just don't believe that they're going to stop investigating because the investigation is going to continue.
I just want to ask your thoughts about the energy that's out here right now and your thoughts on the perimeter that's been set up, what you've been able to see driving in.
Well, the energy right now is, you know, I've seen some people casually walking. I see some that actually was trotting a little bit and running. But the police, because they have a nice perimeter, that presents a peace and a calm to a lot of people. What might be in the forefront of their thinking is that maybe there's a shooter out there or shooters out there that I need to be aware of. So if they haven't caught them, there are someone who committed this crime. However, you know, be aware of your surroundings, be cognizant of where you're going, particularly by yourself at this particular time. Take no chances. If you can, get in your home, secure yourself, and let the police do their job.
Ken, anything we're leaving out? Anything you want to add in all this right now? I know we have a lot of questions we still need answered, but at this point, anything?
I'll just reemphasize to the citizens that are watching, be patient. Be patient with the police. Allow them to do it. This is when they show their best work, when they're investigating things like this, because when something like this happens, a police officer wants to get the bad guy. They want to do everything in their power to find the bad guy and bring them to justice. So be patient, allow the police to do their work, and it'll be a safer Jacksonville Beach.
Great. Thank you so much, Ken. We did get that update from Jacksonville Beach Police. She mentioned she will be back out here at some point when she has the scene totally secured down and they have a little bit more information they can share. So we will just continue to be right here waiting for that information, talking with folks as they work their way out from the restaurant district here closer to A1A. But for right now, we'll wrap up in Jacksonville Beach. Zach Wilcox, First Coast News, on your side. Thank you.
Those are good questions. So they've got it blocked off here all the way down.
Yeah, we
the
haven't
next
been
block.
north yet. But
Yeah,
we
they-
know that down that way they had it blocked off on the other side of Lakewood Plaza. I guess that's something I should have mentioned. But that's okay.
We can walk down here where these,
Yeah,
this corner here. I mean,
I would think
if
so.
she's going to do a briefing, she's going to notify you.
Yeah, we
anyway.
were talking about going out that way and see, but it seems like intentions.
See where they're going? That's what I was thinking, going right up there,
Yeah.
get that backdrop. and you may have some people that's close by that you can talk to that,
Yeah.
you know, heard gunshots or saw people running or whatever. That's just a thought,
Yeah. I don't know if we're still. Are we out of the cut?
because that's where I'm headed.
All right, Ken. We'll be up there as soon as they clear us. You want to move closer? I'd like to. Maybe we can keep them up and keep moving.
We can do that. No, let's hold this down.
You have your head.
They left their stuff up over there, so I don't think anybody's gonna bother it.
What's that? Ken, I can't thank you enough for coming out. Oh, hold on. Yeah. Sarah had called.
Yeah, just keep
So anyway, I'll let you go back to Kid Perry and tell your wife I said hello.
Hey there, First Coast News. This is Zach Wilcox reporting live in Jacksonville Beach. We are out in front of 2nd Avenue, right near City Hall, actually just past Latham Plaza, where we are at the active shooter investigation that we've heard about from the Jacksonville Beach Police Department. I'm going to step out now so that we can continue to gather videos, show you guys what we're seeing here. I want to preface this by saying that we are keeping our distance. We've been asked by Jacksonville Beach Police to not get too close while they are trying to control this scene. So we are certainly obeying their command there and trying to keep our distance here. You have several police cruisers down here by Beachside, right by the 2nd Avenue access. And Cole, you want to turn and we can show the size of the scene here down. So this is facing toward Latham Plaza, right where they would set up deck the chairs. You got a couple of police cruisers down there. That extends for a couple of blocks down that way. We had a fire truck by the Carrabba's and Walgreens that was blocking that area off. And so we'll get to the main points that we do know. Still a lot of unanswered questions at this point as police continue to investigate, but we did hear from Jacksonville Beach Police that there are 3 people that were injured in a shooting event, and they are still looking for suspects. They said plural. So we're hoping to have another update on that shortly here. They mentioned they're going to try and lock down the scene and then give us another update. There was a helicopter circling for a while. Haven't heard that actually in a little while now that I think about it. But so we have the scene facing this way, and a lot of the attention has been, if we want to turn back cold toward the Best Western, that's where we've seen a lot. We did talk with some folks. One woman mentioned that her daughter called her around 8 o'clock tonight. She was out on the beach by the 2nd Avenue access when she heard gunshots. She said she heard several gunshots, so they actually went to the Taco Bell on the other side of A1A just to try and get away from the scene. And they've been over there ever since, so they were actually going to go pick them up, but they had heard those multiple gunshots around 8 o'clock. That's not too long before we found out about this situation, started making our way out here to Jacksonville Beach. So we do know that the 3 people have been injured, don't know their condition yet at this point, but still trying to get updates here as Jacksonville Beach Police works on this. We've seen Jacksonville JSO cruisers come in as well, flying down. Is this 2nd Street that we're facing here? Flying down in front of City Hall. We've also seen some on A1A coming through. Of course, lots of folks on the streets right now. The Jacksonville Beach Police did tell us that they have been evacuating the restaurants that are in that main kind of restaurant district down there, kind of in the area of Surfer, the bar, if anyone's familiar. They've been evacuating those restaurants, so we have seen some folks coming out. You know, obviously lots of green here on St. Patrick's Day. We did talk with some folks who are over here in Jekyll Brewing. If you want to go ahead and turn to that, Cole, for just a minute here. So we talked with some folks who are in Jekyll Brewing. So as you can see, not as close to that scene that we had been shooting here, but they were in Jekyll Brewing. There's probably about 8 of them. They'd come from TPC actually to sort of unwind after the day at the Players. And they said they actually saw all the police arriving, but their restaurant inside Jekyll was not evacuated at the time. So they were able to finish eating, and they were on their way out when they came to talk to us, where we've been staged over here at the Wells Fargo parking lot. So they mentioned they weren't really sure what was going on. They'd heard some people had been shot, but they were able to finish their time there at Jekyll Brewing. So we'll go ahead and pan back now to that main scene just to keep an eye on it, see if anything is developing down there. For those of you just joining us, it was wild. Were you guys inside?
We watched a dude get CPR over there.
Okay.
Yeah, so some dude, from
Okay,
Sneakers
gotcha.
down the road next to Wells Fargo, and they were getting him CPR on the ground. The cop showed up, and I'm gonna tell you right now, he didn't look in good condition. His condition was not good.
And were you guys, you mentioned it was kind of down toward the City Hall?
Towards Walgreens.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it looks that way. And it happened once, and then we're like, okay, something's happening, and then not even 20 minutes later,
A second
3
one.
shots go off. I'm just outside smoking a cigarette.
Naturally.
Boom, 80 people running down the street. Watch a dude drop to his knees. It was.
Gotcha. And how
Yeah.
close was that to where you guys were? Like,
So we were at Sneakers, and it was
Probably
in the parking lot. pretty
couple
much.
blocks, like east or
And
west.
then they closed
yeah.
down the whole parking lot, and the cops are kind of being assholes.
But yeah.
gotcha. But you guys are okay? You were able to
We're
make it out?
whole,
Yeah,
brother.
yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So, and they evacuated Sneakers after that?
Yeah,
You guys
they
kinda-
said
Yeah,
we can't
kinda
get
trying
any
to
more
start
drinks or
shutting it
food,
down.
So I had to take my food and go to box.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
Where are you
Well,
reporting from?
we're with Channel
First
12,
Coast.
First Coast News.
Okay, so I can't read, so.
That's okay. No, that's okay. We just got out here probably about 30 minutes ago. So
Okay.
the scene was going. Was it around 8 o'clock? Is what I've heard when that all kind of happened.
Something like that. Yeah,
Maybe.
probably a little after.
Certainly not what you guys are expecting on St. Patrick's Day. A lot
Oh,
of
no,
people
sir.
out, right?
Yeah. Not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
It was
I know it was twice.
it was rough to see, but hey, I guess it's Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'm sure that like visual will stick with you, right?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Kind of nuts, dude.
Yeah. Well, I won't hold you guys
yeah,
up.
no,
Yes, sir. You have a good night, man.
Stay safe. Yeah. Thank you, guys. So you heard us talk with a couple of folks there that were down at Sneakers, which is a couple blocks away from where we are right now, actually. And that's when they heard those gunshots, and they said that they saw a man fall to his knees. The restaurant was shortly evacuated after that. They were not serving any more drinks, so he mentioned he had a to-go box, but definitely not what he expected to see when, out on the town for St. Patrick's Day night here on this Sunday. So still a lot of stories coming out here. We don't have a ton of information from Jacksonville Beach Police other than that we know 3 people were injured. They are still looking for suspects, and they've been investigating this whole area. We can hear sirens on and off coming through, and at times it'll be really calm out here, where we'll just see a couple of cars that are parked with their lights on, and then at times we'll see cars that come racing through here as well, going very fast. So I want to point out that obviously you got a lot of light facing this way, but the other direction from Sneakers and from that bar scene, it's right onto the beach. We are right at that beach access, so obviously very dark out there as well. We've seen helicopters flying over, but we haven't seen any with a light on, a spotlight or anything on the beach. So we are still waiting to hear hopefully some more from Jacksonville Beach Police. When the spokesperson comes back out, she mentioned that they want to make sure they get this scene secure and that she gets some more information. As soon as she can share it, she will. So, and again, this is a pretty wide setup that they have here, all the way out almost to A1A, blocked off at several different intersections, right around City Hall, that 2nd Avenue area, with all of the bars and restaurants down that way. Surf of the Bar, you heard that one man mention. Sneakers is where they were, so still trying to see. Yeah, we're on Facebook Live. Guys, for those of you joining us here, I just want to show you, we've got Ken Jefferson here. That's our crime and safety analyst. Ken, was so nice to come out tonight while all of this is going on. What have you learned? I know you took a little kind of lap
Well, just
around.
from listening to some others talking, they were just casually having fun here at the beach, and they heard gunfire, and they just started to spread out a little bit because they didn't know where it was coming from. When you hear gunfire, you don't really know where it's coming from. People run in a direction that they think is away from it, but sometimes they're running towards it. So it was pretty chaotic at one point, but right now it's calm as far as any activity going, any violent activity going on. The police are doing their jobs. They're interviewing witnesses or anybody that would be willing to talk to them to find out anything that they can about what happened, who did it, where they went.
Well, it's got to be good that it's calm. We'll step off here so we can continue to show the scene, if that's okay. It's got to be good that it's calm, because that hopefully means that all of the victims are accounted for at this point, and that, as you mentioned, we're kind of moving our way through that. But one man told us that he saw 80 people running as soon as he heard the first couple of gunshots. So it just gives you an idea of how many people were out here and kind of that sense of panic, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt that there were a lot of people out here. I'm not sure how you came up with that number, but it's no doubt that there's a lot of people here. And when you hear gunfire in a crowded place, you do the best thing you can. You either run, you hide, or you fight if you're in an encounter with a person. And obviously that's what was happening. But the main thing to do is to try to get away or seek shelter or seek some type of shield of some sort so that you won't be a part of what's going on.
One thing I wanted to ask you about earlier when we were live on TV, but now that we're online, have you had any experience in active shooter situations like this? Can you kind of walk us through what that's been like in your past?
Yeah, I've not personally responded to an active shooter situation. I have responded to situations where there was a person that was barricaded with a weapon and threatening to do harm to himself and anybody else that got in his way, including the police. It's a very tense and dangerous situation. As you can imagine, adrenaline is high on both ends. You don't know what to expect. You have to allow your training to kick in and do everything that you've been taught to do to try to be able to bring that suspect into custody and survive that particular incident. So, while the police are out here working, they're trying to survive this incident as well because they don't know who the active shooter or shooters are right now. They could have them walk right by them and won't even know them. And if they decide they want to do harm to a police officer, they'll even try that. And that's not putting fear in people's mind, but I'm just reminding everybody that you've got to be cognizant of where you are, your surroundings, and who you're with.
I mean, it's got to be kind of the day that every police officer dreads, right? This is the last thing they ever want to have to respond to get that call, right?
Well, police officers, we run to danger. That's what we live for. That's what we are sworn to serve the public by. We run to the problem to try to solve the problem. Is there a measure of fear in our hearts when we go there? Yes, because we're human. We're still human. But when you hear of a volatile, dangerous situation like this, of course your stomach drops, but your training kicks in, and you realize that I'm the one that the public is relying on. So I've got to do my best to try to get this person and try to render aid to the victims.
Gotcha. Can you speak at all to what this will mean for the mental state? You mentioned that, you know, it's for the police officers, it's a lot to go through. For all the folks who are out here, what's it going to be like recovering from this? And I mean, you know, in a year from now, when it's St. Patrick's Day, it's obviously the thing that they're going to be thinking about, right?
This will be something that will be remembered, but right now we don't know what happened. We don't know who the shooters are. We don't know what caused it. Either way, you've got 3 injured people right now. We don't know if there's any fatalities. So this will be something that will always be remembered, no matter what. I can't think of any good reason why someone would pull out a gun in a crowded area and start shooting people. So there's no good that can come out of that. But this will be something that'll be remembered. But life will continue to go on after it's all said and done.
Thank you so much, Ken. I appreciate you sharing that with us, and we're just going to continue walking you guys through this. For those of you who are just joining us, we do know there's an active shooter investigation going on in Jacksonville Beach right now. We did hear from the police department that 3 people were injured. Don't know the extent of their injuries at this point, and we know that they were, at least as of about 30 minutes ago, still on the lookout for a suspect or possible suspects. So we do have this pretty wide perimeter that's been blocked off, several blocks in either direction. We're at about 2nd Avenue here, but there's also all the way down toward City Hall, past City Hall. They had that area blocked off, kind of all around Latham Plaza, that central sort of bar and restaurant district in Jacksonville Beach. Of course, it's a busy night with it being St. Patrick's Day, so they've had to evacuate a lot of the restaurants that are around so they can continue to investigate this scene. And we're hoping to get more information when they have it, when they share it with us. We are keeping our distance here because this is an active shooter investigation. They have this wide perimeter set up, and police have asked us to stage over here so we can provide them their distance to do their investigation. Of course, we don't want to put ourselves in harm's way either. So this is kind of the look that we're giving you from what we can see so far in this investigation. But a lot of blue and red lights really in any direction that you look, anywhere east of A1A throughout a good stretch of Jacksonville Beach, several blocks at least. In fact, frankly, don't really have a full perspective on just how wide this perimeter is. We came up from JTB, so we came up from the south side. We hit where the Carrabba's is, where the town hall, that side, there was already the roadblock down there. And then we came up here to just past north of City Hall at the Wells Fargo. That's where they're staging the media, and they have a closure down here. And then you can see some more red and blue lights just going even further north past Bricks. So hopefully we'll get an idea of, hopefully we'll get an update here shortly on where they're at in the investigation. But we did talk with some folks who are at Jekyll Brewing who mentioned that they were not evacuated. So that kind of gives you an idea of where that perimeter ends. They were able to finish their meal there, but they did see the police gathering around. They didn't hear any gunshots when they were inside, but some folks at Sneakers, which is closer to the water, they did hear the gunshots, and they mentioned they saw somebody fall to his knees and that they were providing CPR to that person. And we do, again, don't know the exact extent of those injuries to the 3 people who were shot, but we do know that they were taken to the hospital. And we still continue to see some waves of people working their way out. There was a little bit of a rush earlier when we first pulled up, but now a lot of the folks who are coming out are walking or on bicycles. Some folks parked, you know, obviously over here closer to A1A because there's such a crowd. So working their way back to their vehicles. Might try and stop and talk with some of these folks if we get a chance to see what their night's been like if they come over our way. So we're continuing to wait for updates here in Jacksonville Beach. We do know that around 8 o'clock is when we started to get some attention brought to this, some calls into our newsroom, some folks asking about what was going on down here in Jacksonville Beach. It was around 8 o'clock as well that one woman told us that her daughter called her. She was at the beach, and she said she heard a gunshot, then she heard several more, and at that point is when they decided to move further away from the beach over toward Taco Bell on the other side of A1A. So that kind of gives us a rough timeline. And since then, here we are about 2 hours later where we have a pretty large police perimeter set up. We haven't seen as many cars coming in and out now, as many police cruisers. We did see some probably about 20 minutes ago that were working their way north on A1A. And to give you guys, for those folks who may not be that familiar with Jacksonville Beach, we are just a little bit north of Beach Boulevard. Probably about 2-3 blocks north of Beach Boulevard here is where this main setup is. We've seen Jacksonville Beach cruisers, we've also seen JSO cruisers come through. And just keeping an eye on this scene. The energy has calmed a little bit down here. It was a little frantic earlier when we first arrived, probably about an hour ago now. And we're specifically at the Wells Fargo parking lot, but the calls we were getting indicated it was closer to 2nd Avenue. And we heard one person mention that he was out in front of Sneakers when he saw somebody fall to his knees. But police have not specified where exactly, at this point, where exactly the shooting took place, if it happened outside of a restaurant or if it happened in a restaurant. We are very close to the beach here, just about a block west of the beach, maybe 2 blocks at most, about 2 blocks. Right by Latham Plaza, where, for folks who only come here once a year, maybe is right by where they do deck the chairs. Again, we want to keep reiterating this. We have 3 people we know were injured and taken to the hospital in an active shooter investigation. The police said they are still on the lookout for suspects. We don't know how many that is at this point. Guys, if you're still with us watching, we are going to move back just a little bit. We just saw the public information officer for Jacksonville Beach arrive to the media scene here. So we're gonna step back just in case we're gonna get another briefing from her. So thanks for hanging with us, and we might be a little bumpy here as we move back, but we'll stay with you here. Gonna continue streaming as we wait for more developments. She's right back here. Again, as we're walking here, I know it's a bumpy shot. We're in the Wells Fargo parking lot. This is where they've staged the media. So we're about a block away from the actual closure. They had the actual perimeter, rather, is the word I'm looking for. And we're just taking a slight step back here. You guys, for those of you watching, I'm going to be right back. I'm just going to go grab the rest of our equipment. Thanks for staying with us. For those of you still with us, we've just moved about a half a block back so that we're set up in case we do get another media briefing. But still right here on the scene. I'm going to give you an exact idea of the address that we're at. We kind of drove around a little, and I'm not as familiar with this specific spot, so let me see. We're right by Bricks, right near A1A. But I'm going to give you the exact intersection here as soon as I Google it. Right, so we are near 2nd Avenue North and 2nd Street North, right there at the intersection of 2nd and 2nd, not far north of Beach, about 2 blocks north of Beach Boulevard, where it comes down to that intersection with A1A. And we've seen some folks kind of work their way back here. And just to update you again, we have 3 people that we know were injured, taken to the hospital. Don't know the extent of their injuries at this point. As we stand by for more information, we do know that. Okay. Looks like we possibly have some government officials have gathered here to talk and brief with the. What you're looking at is the public information officer for the Jacksonville Beach Police Department as she convenes with elected officials here, the city of Jacksonville Beach, right at the edge of the perimeter of where they have blocked off. That's my producer talking with me. Yes, I can hear you, Carolina. Yes, so just to let our audience know here that's still watching, we do have a cut-in coming up at 10 o'clock. That was my producer that was catching up with us. We are streaming live online, so I've just been kind of walking folks through what we do know at this point, but we will be cutting in at 10 o'clock, which is coming up here in just a couple minutes. So for those of you who have been watching, we're going to go ahead and get set up for that to relay some of the information that we have at this point. So. Grab it. Oh, okay. Yeah, so we can get Ken and I together for 10. Ken, we're going to do a cut in at 10 o'clock here in just a couple of minutes. So, oh, are we getting a briefing here?
Can you come a little closer to us so we can...
Cole, do you need this light kit or are you good?
Now the camera's...
Yeah, we're getting briefing.
Are you briefing right now or are you waiting until 10?
I'm going to do a briefing now. I think all of you are here for the most part.
I think this is everybody.
Are you all available after? Or before you enter?
Y'all are good. Do what you need to.
I can hold microphones if we want to do it that way, if that would be the cleanest for everybody. Okay.
All of them? Is that...
Yeah.
Okay,
I think
position was that?
there's only 3, right? Or 4?
Good, Vic, or you want him to hold it?
Yeah,
No, he's
we're
good.
good. We're good.
We're good?
Yeah, let me see here. We all good?
Yeah.
Sergeant Tater, can you tell us what's going on? What's the latest information right now?
So earlier we had a active shooter situation and we had 3 people that were shot. What we did is we basically locked down what we consider our downtown bar district area and our beachfront because of the area that the scene expanded into. So that will stay shut down until further notice. And in regards to the people that were shot, there's 3 shot, 2 unstable, 1 is deceased, and we are still looking for suspects. Unfortunately, I'm still working on getting suspect descriptions so I can put it out to everybody. As we get that, I most certainly will share it. But if you'd like to be if you'd like to be at 8 a.m. in the morning at the police department, we will be doing a press conference and providing more information as we gather it through the evening.
Okay, and Sergeant, can you tell us, you said suspects. Are police sure that there's multiple shooters here?
We believe there are, but that's what we're still trying to figure out, just due to the scope of the area. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us to figure out everything, put all the pieces together. So we're just asking that if anybody sees anything, hears anything, knows of someone that was involved, to please call the Jacksonville Beach Police Department so we can get that information
And also, do we
and
know
go with
what
it.
started the gunfire?
We do not at this time.
Was it in a restaurant or was it out on the street?
It was out in the open. So that's all we've got for right now. I encourage you at 8 in the morning, we would have more information for you that we can provide, and we'll see you then.
Is it still considered an
It's
active
still
shooter
considered,
situation and lockdown?
yes, we are still locked down. We will be locked down in this area until further notice. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant. So that's Sergeant Tanya Tater with the Jacksonville Beach Police Department. She is the spokesperson there. She's been working around the clock to find out exactly what's going on.
Yes, Ken. Thanks, Ken.
You need to get them when you're done. The
Yeah.
mayor and the city council person.
Yeah, we'll grab him.
Let them get by.
Yeah, we talked with one man who was sitting out in front of Sneakers, one of the bars down here, and mentioned that he saw somebody fall to his knees and immediately get some CPR attention later on. And then he saw a mass of people that were running past that area. And we did find out some important bits of information here. And the key one here is that of the 3 people who were shot, 2 people are in stable condition. However, 1 is dead at this point. And we do know that the shooting actually happened out in the open, not inside one of the restaurants, but we do know the restaurants have been evacuated. So we'll bring Ken in now. Those are kind of the big pieces of information. Ken, the first question I want to ask you here is, now that we know that somebody has been killed in this shooting, how does that change this investigation?
Well, it's the same investigation because it was an active shooting. You got some injured people, but unfortunately, one has succumbed to the gunshots. So they're going to be charged with murder, whatever degree that they decide to charge them with. But the ironic thing is, this happened out in the open. Do you know how dangerous that is for innocent bystanders? Someone pulls out a gun in a crowd of people and begin to shoot. They're very, very fortunate that there were no more than 3 that got hit by this gunfire. So it's a very dangerous and volatile situation for that particular time period.
Yeah, and we heard that there are multiple suspects that they're investigating at this point. So, again, I know we talked about this earlier, but how does that complicate things when you're looking for possibly several people?
Yeah, they believe that there's multiple suspects. They didn't confirm that it was, but they believe that there may be more than one suspect. They're going to have to rely on information that they get off the street from witnesses, because if they're shooting in a crowd of people on the outside, somebody saw that suspect and they can provide some good information for you. Now, you have to understand, police won't give out everything that they know because they don't want to show their hand to the wanted person. The wanted person may be watching this broadcast right now and trying to figure out how they're going to maneuver around to get away with this particular crime. So I believe that the police know more than what they're telling us right now, and that's okay because they have to keep certain things close to the vest so as their investigation is not compromised. But they're going to have to rely heavily on information that they get from those eyewitnesses.
And we've seen less and less people coming out of this area now. It seems like they've certainly locked it down at this point, evacuated a lot of the restaurants. So that has to make you feel a little more comfortable knowing that a lot of people are out of that area as they investigate.
Yeah, it's dwindling down a little bit as far as the crowd of people because the police have let them know that, you know, this is a crime scene area. You can't come in here. So people are accepting that now. As you heard the PIO say that it's going to be a while with this being on lockdown because you've got an active shooter at large, or shooters at large, so they got to be very methodical with what they do, everything that they do.
We heard that they're going to be out here tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. to give us another briefing, so it's going to be a long night for these investigators. How do they, work for that long with such a serious situation on their hands?
Well, they're built for that. They're built for that. When they sign up and they're sworn in, they realize that this is not a Monday through Friday 8 to 5 career. This is something that when the people need you, you have to be there. So they're built for that. They're ready for it, and they're used to it. It's just a part. It's much like journalism. It's much a part of the job, of the position. Don't stop until the job is done.
Ken, anything else that we just heard that you feel like we need to address here, make sure that our viewers are aware of?
No, just be patient with the police, as I said earlier. Be patient with the investigation, but mainly if you were there and you managed to get away before the police had an opportunity to talk to you, call the police and give them that information. You can remain anonymous if you like. You don't. If you're uncomfortable with giving information to the police, there's so many ways that you can call the police and give them credible information and remain anonymous in hopes of catching the person who's responsible for this.
And we did hear that at this point, it hasn't been released what caused the shooting, what led up to it. So that's another thing that they've got to be investigating, what instigated all of this.
Yeah, and this is part of what they might be keeping close to the chest right now so that they can not have their investigation compromised.
Thank you, Ken. I appreciate it.
Sure.
So we're still waiting, obviously, for more information, but we did get some key updates there just to wrap up some of those. We know that there were 3 people that were injured. One of them did succumb to their injuries, and we do know that the shooting happened outside, not in one of the bars or restaurants, and they have evacuated this area, and that they are looking at this point possibly for multiple suspects. So those are the 3 key takeaways that we have at this point. We'll continue to wait for more information here, and we're going to get another briefing at 8 in the morning from Jacksonville Beach Police. But for now, we'll wrap it up in Jacksonville Beach. Zach Wilcox, First Coast News, on your side. Thank you, Ken.
Yeah, no problem.
Not only concerned with police, managers here. Fernando Mezzo, one of the council members for the city of Jacksonville Beach, is here. So they're all working together to get the latest information. As someone that has covered the beaches for more than a decade, I can tell you that there is really good
How you doing?
surveillance.
Want to take a beat, and then maybe I can grab you?
Well lit in most spots. Police because we've done stories on it before, but the police have an interactive center where they have just all kinds of cameras. They can check license plates. They can look for students. So I can only imagine right now. You see a lot of officers here behind us. Actually,
Thank you for taking time.
Sure, sure.
Here.
and I can tell you that.
You want to grab the mayor here real quick?
How are you? I'm sorry that it's under these circumstances. Thank you for being here. Really
Right here.
So I'm gonna get off and gather a little bit more information. I'm gonna send it back to you.
Whenever ready. Okay. Let's just do, as a quick mic check, you guys came out here tonight. What's it like being out here with all this happening?
I'm really proud of our police department. We have men and women of the Jacksonville Beach Police Department, Atlantic Beach, Neptune Beach, as well as JSO, other partner agencies out here to help investigate the situation, to find out exactly what happened as quickly as possible. We are really proud. I'm very proud of our business owners that really reacted and took the best interests of their patrons and our visitors to heart. It's a busy weekend. This is Players Weekend. It's St. Patrick's Day. It's spring break. We have a lot going on out here. So the fact that we had a couple of bad actors out here that really made a dangerous situation for everyone is extremely tragic and unfortunate, but I'm so proud of our police department, all of our public safety officials, and everyone involved that helped put public safety top of mind.
As a mayor, this is probably the last call that you ever want to receive. What went through your mind when you got the call first?
You know, again, I was coming home from the tournament. It was a great day, beautiful weather. It was an amazing weekend out here for us across the beaches. So to come off of that and to walk right into a tragedy was just, no mayor wants to go through that. I don't want to go through that, but this is what we have to deal with. And my first instinct is to come to support our police officers, to support our leadership and our public safety as they investigate the situation and figure out our path forward. So I'm here to support them and to be here for them as we move forward in all of this.
What's your message for the folks who are out here tonight, maybe who live in Jacksonville Beach or in Jacksonville, that saw something or heard something that's going to be sticking with
no,
them?
if anybody saw anything that can lend information, there were several different incidents that were, at this time it seems to be potentially unrelated. So we want to know as much as we can, find out about those incidents so that we can investigate each of them to find out what was the cause, who was involved. Again, we have a really wonderful police department here. We have a wonderful team of investigators on this, and I'm confident that they will ensure the public safety and that the people that were involved in this are brought to justice. It was a tragic evening, and we have to move through that to the investigation and how are we going to move on as a community. So that'll be our next steps.
Speaking of moving on, I mean, I have to mention that this is spring break week for Duval County schools, so a lot of people were planning probably to come to the beach. What's your message for folks who maybe see this and are now kind of on edge?
Yeah, I think that especially the people that were out here this evening know this is an amazing community. We have a lot of great businesses, and again, I want to thank them, all of them, so much for helping make sure that their patrons were safe and protected. Some of them sheltered in place, and there was a lot of communication going on with our businesses, so I'm so proud of them for that. They work with our law enforcement. We've gone very far in making sure we have good communications and good relationships between our business owners and our police department, our public safety, that everyone has the safety of our visitors at top of mind. So unfortunately, we had some tragic events this evening that we're going to be looking into and investigating, so we'll have more information about what those causes were and what was actually involved in those as we go forward. But I want people to know Jacksonville Beach is a great place to come. It's a great place to visit. Again, we had a wonderful weekend. This was just a really great place to be in Northeast Florida across this whole weekend, and just really saddened by these tragic events, but so proud of our police department and the investigators that are going to look to what happened, why it happened, and how do we move forward.
Very well put. Thank you, Mary. Anything you want to add?
No, I just want to say, again, if people can please heed the places we want to limit people driving through and visiting in our downtown area until we have further information, and we will communicate that out to everyone through our different communication channels. So if everyone can please keep an eye out for that before they come back into our downtown area.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was literally coming home from the Six Championship. We had a wonderful weekend here with St. Patrick's Day and the players and spring break and so much really great positive events going on here at the beaches. A really busy weekend at the beaches. I know that our police department was prepared for a busy weekend, and unfortunately these tragic events took place. We're not exactly sure, were they related? Did they have to do with each other? We are still in the investigation process, and so that information will come around as we are able to confirm it. I think that's very important. Our police department has been really on top of reacting, as well as working with our partner agencies. The other beaches police departments, JSO, ATF, have all really come out here in force to help support our police department, and that's one thing that's really key. We have a huge amount of people that come out to the beaches, and they're not all beaches residents. They're from all over Northeast Florida. So it's so important to us to have those partner agencies come out and to help us not only react when crime happens and something like this happens, but to prevent and to anticipate. So I'm obviously very saddened by this tragic situation that impacted our beaches, but I'm so glad to see how our police department has worked together to react and to be really responsive. Our business owners really work together to help make sure that their patrons were as safe as possible, and they really reacted when they were alerted to the fact that there might be a dangerous situation. So, an extremely tragic situation that I do not take lightly, but I'm very glad to see that our police department, our other public safety officials really work well together to make sure that everyone is as safe as possible as the event. Okay. You're so welcome. My pleasure.
way cooler than this.
I said, no, but I heard of it. Who was it? Jay Bain? You know Jay Bain?
Hey, man.
Indian guy? He's a chiropractor.
Okay.
He knew that you and I had worked together.
Yeah.
And your dad worked with my brother-in-law at Delta. So
Yeah.
she knew him. She knew him very well.
I met her once.
Oh, you did? You did? Interesting.
gonna give that back to you before I lose it.
Okay.
You want me to grab Ken for the cut-in?
No, we'll keep this one quick, yeah?
I'm just gonna get my laptop.
Hey, here we go. Let's do a mic check. I think Cole got me going here. Yep, sounds good. I'm on IFB4. We are out in front of the Wells Fargo building still. The police and city council members left. Sound okay? Do we want Ken for this hit? We want Ken?
You want Ken?
Yeah, can you go grab him? Ken said he was resting his feet. Okay. He's coming.
I'm gonna pull everything on my laptop so you can just pull the slot and everything out there.
Okay.
Just save some time.
Yep. Thank you, Ken. Sorry,
Yeah, no
missed
problem.
one.
No apologies needed. I'm here to work.
Yeah, Riley, we've talked with a couple of people who mentioned they heard some gunshots. They heard one, then they heard some more, and then they saw a mass of people running out of what's kind of the downtown Jacksonville Beach area with a lot of the restaurants and the bars. Specifically, somebody at Sneakers mentioned that they saw that massive crowd running after they heard some of those gunshots and saw somebody getting CPR done on them. You mentioned what we do know now is that there are 3 people who were shot, including one that died from their gunshot wounds, and we know that police are looking for possibly multiple suspects at this point. They blocked off about 8 square blocks, essentially 2 blocks out to the ocean, and then 4 blocks running from Beach Boulevard up to about 4th Avenue. So I'll bring in our crime and safety analyst, Ken Jefferson now. Ken, the radius that they have blocked off right now for this perimeter, now that we have an idea of it, feels kind of small from some crime scenes I've been on. Just give me an idea of how they choose to orient this.
Well, actually, they never shrink the area. They always expand it. So it's not really a small area. It's an expanded area where they feel that they need to concentrate on the immediate area, and they will expand it even more if it becomes necessary. Right now, things have calmed down as far as the crowd of people that were here. This will allow the police to continue to do their work without interruption, without people stopping, asking questions, or trying to get through a certain cordon off area. So it's calmed down, and the police can actually do their thing now.
Gotcha. And we know that they are possibly looking for multiple people, so that means they probably have to look in multiple directions too, right, when they're trying to track that down. We've seen cars going every which way along A1A. Yeah. So how do those steps happen?
Well, they actually have it cordoned off north and south, east and west. So they've got a square perimeter, and they're going to be knocking on doors, people's homes, businesses. You know, they've got to uncover every rock, turn over every rock to try to get as much information as they possibly, then come together and provide an update with us as to what their progress is.
And we're only a couple of hours into this. We heard the public spokesperson for the police department mention that they don't have the descriptions yet to release on the suspects. You know, when would something like that possibly come out?
Well, you know, they want to keep the public informed, because if if the public knows who they're looking for, they can help them look for it. So as soon as they get that information and they're able to release that, they'll put that out for the general public.
Yeah, gotcha. And just your general thoughts on how things have changed since we've been here a couple hours now, or about a little over an hour now, how things have changed since we arrived.
Yeah, it's calmed down a little bit. You don't have as much foot traffic going on to and from going to various places. The businesses seems like they're mellowed out now as a result of this incident. They may even close early tonight as a result of it. As long as if they're not in an immediate area where the police will allow them to come, they'll probably remain open. But for the most part, they've got this area on lockdown for the safety of everybody involved because the suspects are still at large, and it'll remain that way until they feel it's comfortable enough to open it up.
Yeah, we mentioned it could stay like this for several hours, possibly into the morning as well. It is spring break week. It's Jacksonville Beach. People are coming here. So what's your word for folks who might be watching, who were planning on maybe going to the beach tomorrow or at some point this week?
Yeah, you know, you don't want this sort of thing to happen in any community, particularly on spring break when you have a lot of tourists here, visitors coming to relax and enjoy the beach and enjoy these businesses. These businesses look forward to spring break because it increases their revenue. But I would say to the people coming to Jax Beach, just go to the farther north areas where it's not blocked off, where this is not an issue, because this still may be blocked off tomorrow morning when beachgoers begin to come here. So just go to the farther end of the beach on either side, south or north, and you can still enjoy yourself.
Gotcha. And as we get into the later hours of the evening, into the early hours of the morning, what are police doing right now?
Well, they're still looking for evidence. They're still looking for the suspects. They're still knocking on doors. They're still talking to people. They're still doing their due diligence to find out who's responsible for this. Of course, they've collected evidence. They probably know the caliber of the weapon that was involved in it if they recovered some shells from that particular incident. So their work is just like behind the curtain. It's got a lot of moving parts going right now.
Great, a lot happening, and we'll be here to keep an eye on that as well. Thank you, Ken. Absolutely. Appreciate that. We will hear from the mayor as well as the spokesperson for the police department coming up at our 11 o'clock news right when we wrap up here. We're going to start editing that soundbite, so hopefully we can have more information to share with you guys. But for right now, we'll wrap it up in Jacksonville Beach. Zach Wilcox, First Coast News, on your side. Good stuff, Ken.
I'll be back at 11. I got to use the bathroom.
Yep, we'll do it. We'll do it again in 30 minutes.
different area from what was
Yes.
How's your battery on this guy?
How are you guys holding up? Good? Oh, you're having a tough. You're beating yourself up, man. I feel bad for your face. I really do.
It's my fault. Let's go on the brick side.
Yeah, I like
I think
that.
you already had the idea, but
I was going that way. I don't see anything at all. Oh, there's
tape up.
tape. I got you. I got you, Leroy, if you can hear me. We're setting up. We're trying to just get somewhere we can actually see something.
Oh, do we need to get Ken?
Second, having second. Oh my gosh, we need Ken. Shoot.
I can grab him.
Okay.
Just stay there.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Cole.
No, it's okay. All good. Hey, we'll just put it here. I'll fix it when you get there.
You talking to me? Oh, shoot. Yeah. Oh, he said he went to the bathroom.
Oh, you went to the bathroom? Is that him right behind you?
Is this him? Yeah, Alexis, right?
I think that's him.
No, he came in a sedan today, but he's usually in an SUV. Hey, Ken. So we moved a little. Just as we set up for the shot, we realized that the scene had kind of cleared, so we're out in front of the bricks. But it's kind of just on the other side of that parking lot. Okay, thanks. There's some parking like right out in front of bricks. You can just pull in right there. Okay. Thanks. Where is Sneakers? I feel like I'm a little turned around.
Sneakers is up there, but that was over by the Walgreens.
Oh, over by the Walgreens.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Oh, that's
right
right.
by the
Yeah. Right at the right at the beach.